Happy Easter, everyone, but for us Game of Thrones fans, it's not just Easter, it is Game of Thrones Day. Season 8, Episode 2 is here, and I'm ready to bring you guys my new review and recap for this week. And if you guys missed last week's where I talked and gushed all about Episode 1 of Season 8, go check it out. And oh my god, this episode was pretty good. It's pretty much on par of the first one, a little bit slower than I actually thought it was going to be, but again, by the ending, it made sense of where they were progressing this to go, because the next episode, which is, I think, titled Battle for Winterfell, is looking to be the big action set piece of the whole entire season, and everything that's been leading up with these last two episodes, this one and the first one, are now culminating together to bring us this. It's pretty much saying, hey, you know all the characters you love? We're going to give you one last moment with a majority of them because we're probably going to kill them all off. Like with any review or recap for this, there will be spoilers, and of course I'm going to go into detail of some of the moments that I love, some of the moments that bug me, some of the things that I'm curious on. Of course, if I miss anything, I do want to talk it down below in the comments with you guys, so make sure to continue, hit that subscribe button so we can talk Game of Thrones all week long. Guys, did you guys pick up your Oreo Game of Thrones too? I actually had a friend find me these, so shout out to her. Starting with this episode, I mean, one of the big things that we're going to start out right in the beginning of this episode is Jaime getting his council meeting with everyone else, and I liked that Brienne again stood up for him, because that whole bonding moment, and a lot of this kind of just makes me go to say that, like, there are a couple characters throughout Game of Thrones history and the series as well that have had the best character arc to date. Jaime, in fact, is probably one of my favorite characters that I went from hating to loving, and I just love every single ounce of his character and the character progression that he's taken. The character that has done that as well that I really liked is Aria, another one Sansa, and of course Theon, which I will get to his reunion with Sansa a little bit later. Again, the whole conversation, that whole council meeting really felt through, and I liked the dynamics that they took with each and every one of the characters. And just Brienne standing up for Jaime was a big pro in my book. Seeing Sansa finally come to understand but does trust Brienne with her life was a great signifying moment. Even moving a little bit further on, again, there were actually quite a few different types of reunions in here, again, kind of going off of how the first episode was. Let's reunionize every character into the same central spot, let's talk about them, and let's get their last words with one another. A lot of these characters probably will not interact within the next episode. After this episode, let's be honest, probably a lot of these characters, these are their final moments. Big or small, we're gonna see them die. Thinking on the topic of the reunions, it was nice to see Tyrion and Jaime kind of finally getting their banter with one and fourth. Once again, I love seeing their banter with one each other, and again, I just love Tyrion. I think Peter Dinklage eats every single scenery up, and when him and his brother are talking on top of the castle, I just delved and loved every single one of those scenes. Talking about reunions as well, come on, Tormund coming in, probably having some of the best lines in here. I do think him drinking the milk was a little bit too much. It kind of felt like a little bit SNL comedy style, which it wasn't the baddest thing, but he had the line of the night where he goes, "Where's the big woman?" And I just love that. I cracked up laughing in that. And if we're going into another character who had a really great moment was Aria with Gendry, which, oh man, Arya's getting it on. She goes, "Take off your pants." A whole line and sequence might have felt a little bit weird to some people, but I felt like it was in line with their character, and I actually kind of saw them building it up there, and I do like that they are a couple. I ship this couple so much. I love their chemistry with one another, and I think they really work, and I'm praying to God they both survive this next battle. I'm going to one more nice little tidbit, one more nice reunion that I actually got goosebumps, and I started getting really emotional on. It wasn't just the Brienne and Jaime significance, where she saw how much he had changed as a person when they were on the battlefield. The moment that I almost teared up and really got goosebumps shattering, not just because of the score and the wonderful moments, because there actually were quite a few moments in here where I was getting teared up, it was the moment when Theon came in and Sansa saw him. That moment, like, had me in tears. The amount of enjoyment inside of me just really tore me up inside. And one more really emotional moment that I think all of us will be on board is when Jaime is knighting Brienne, when they're all getting drunk, and I really liked how they kind of went around having everyone having their discussions, because again, it's kind of like when you play Mass Effect or Dragon Age, like you have that one final discussion with each and every one of your characters because we're gonna die or could die. I like that they took the time to kind of go through that. Some nice parallels back to the Night's Watch where it was Jon and Sam sitting on top of the castle talking to one another, and I really appreciated that. They go to other moments where you have Arya and the Hound drinking, and Barrett comes up and they have a nice conversation where the Hound goes, "Was he on your list?" And she's like, "Yeah, just for a little bit." And I like that whole moment in that banter, and to see that Aria and the Hound getting along again with each other in their same manner, but seeing how she's grown up so well, but also seeing the Hound have a layer of humanity and emotion to him really worked. I also want to go back to that Brienne scene and Jaime. I kind of jumped over it a little bit after getting to the Theon and Sansa part, and that's kind of the parts with doing these reviews and recaps, is kind of jumbling around, talking about all the things that I love and the things I don't like, just like a typical review. But I really liked that reunion because it was super significant for me, and just the amount of emotion, the amount of love that I feel for that character. And because Theon, again, is one of those other characters in the show that is so well written, he has such a great character arc, and seeing the fact of when they're all planning out, like, how Bran's like, he's coming after me, and they're gonna plant him at this tree as pretty much a decoy to get the Night King out, which is a smart plan. One, it's a little weird that no one mentions that, hey, he has a dragon, are we gonna bring this up? But the other significant moment in there that really brought a lot of stuff to me, Theon said, I'm gonna protect you. I took this castle from you. I want to protect you. Really like that Theon laid his hand down for that, and it's going to be a nice battle scene. It's going to be very emotional next episode. It's like, I think, almost an hour and a half of an episode of probably just battle, death, emotion, and sadness. Also nice to see Podrick back. Hell yeah, this boy. And I love how Tyrion, when they're all sitting around drinking, how he pours him like his glass pretty much overflowing. And that smile Tyrion gave Podrick was one of the warmest smiles I could have seen throughout the whole episode. You know what? Now, even before I even go on further, there was one more reunion in here, which was Sam and Jorah talking. And I really liked Sam and Jorah and how Sam ended up giving his blade to Jorah. And even seeing Jorah talk with his family. Thank God Lady Mormont is going to go kick some ass. I hope she doesn't die, because she's just a little badass, but I love seeing her in her armor. We finally got to see Ghost in the background, thank God. When asked me last episode, where was Ghost? They really only have the budget for 2 CGI characters. You either get the dragons or you get the wolf. The other parts that I really liked in here, again, going back to how great of a character Sansa has progressed into, is when her and Daenerys are sitting there, and Daenerys has that great powwow with Jorah, and they're talking, and he's like, you know, he took my job, but he is the right man for the job. And I like that little significant moment with them. It's when she goes to talk to Daenerys, and they're having a really great banter with one another. But then she goes, well, what about the North? We pledged to never bow to someone again. And that was the moment where she pulled her hand away, and she had some... Daenerys, I don't know where she's going here. She's had some bomb drops on her in this episode. One especially right at the end, and one at that particular moment. Makes me wonder where they're going to go with her character. Actually solidifies a lot of theories that people are having, that the end of the thing, that no one's going to actually be on the throne. There will just be a democracy of some type through all the 7 kingdoms, which I actually don't mind if they go that route. It actually makes sense, because Jon does not want this damn throne. Like, no matter what, he doesn't want the throne, he doesn't want the label, he just wants to protect the North and live his life. Which then, I guess I should bring up that final last part. He's down in the crypts, and the second I saw Daenerys walk down there, I'm like, alright, this is when he's gonna tell her. Walks up, in front of his mother's statue, and he starts delving all the details. And I think Jon's not the smoothest when it comes to delivering a little bit of the secrets. I think he should have been like, yes, so yeah, I don't want the throne still. You can have it. We don't have to tell anyone else. But yeah, I'm related to you. And it's still funny because none of them are really talking about that. I know in the books that the Targaryens do breed with each other most of the time, but you think that would probably come up. The thing that Daenerys is most frightened by is that he is the heir to the throne, not the fact that she loves him. And I love that whole conversation going back again to Sansa and her talking about how she, like, how Sansa was worried that Jon was manipulated, but in fact, she was manipulated to go there and fight for her throne, and then going and handling the Night King. It's just so many great moments with throughout this whole entire episode, where again, it's one of those episodes that's wrapping up a lot of different kind of things. It starts the Aria and Gendry storyline. Aria finally does it. She just goes, again, take off your pants. It goes more with Sansa and Daenerys. It goes more with Jorah and Sam. And the smallest characters, Sam, Davos, Gilly, Podrick, every single person got a small moment in here, because we do know that next episode will probably be the last of some of them, sadly. Going to my cons, I really didn't have any cons. It really is just a slow episode. And again, these 2 episodes will, if truly are building up to a ferocious ending and a climax to the rest of the show, I'm fine with these episodes being slow. yeah, I could want a little bit more in picking up the pace because it's been so long, but I do like these slow moments. I like a lot of the emotional moments in here, and I understand what the writers, the directors, and everyone involved with Game of Thrones is doing. I'm all on board. There was a lot of stuff that happened in this episode, a lot of stuff to unpack, but let me know, guys. I want to hear what your guys' thoughts are on this episode. Do you guys like it? Did you hate it? Were you very disappointed by it? Are you scared for next episode? And who do you think will die next episode? I want to hear it down below in the comments. And guys, thank you guys again so much for watching this video. You guys are seriously all the best. But, of course, until next time, stay classy.